Hello at this gorgeous and amazing day, and thanks for joining in part 3 in the series of how to protect our children from child molestation. In part 2, we asked the question, how is it by parents expressing their love, attention, and affection to a child, does it protect them up to 80% of being hurt by a predator? Now, let me preface by saying that a molester is very similar to a fisherman or a fisherwoman. Their goal is to catch a fish for their benefit, and there's no way they could put a J hook into the water and ask the fish to please bite on that hook, and so like this they could benefit. So they disguise their plan, which is just actually sucking away the life from this fish for their survival. And how they disguise it is do the total contrary. Instead of showing them a hook, which might represent death and harm, they actually put bait that they truly like and will gravitate to, and that's a worm. Or any other type of bait, type of food. And they cover that hook, and they place the hook into the water. The fish swimming around and searching for sustenance from very far can see or smell. I'm not a professional. I don't know if they see the food or smell the food, which one comes first. Regardless, they find that worm, and what they think is some kindness going on, that someone is feeding them or there's food hanging around, and they go straight for that worm without thinking twice. They just bite into that worm, and what they're really biting into is to that hook, and now they're trapped, and it's over because they bit into that hook. If that fish would be in his own safety zone, in his own security, in the depth of the water, with an abundance of worms, this might have not happened. They're hungry, they're looking, they're coming around, they're looking for food. When a child is filled, their bank account, as some therapists call it, their body, their heart, their soul is filled with love, attention, and affection. Not love with some parenting called discipline, and I'm not sure what to call it. But what they're filled with from their own parents is love. When predators out there present the worm, i.e. their smile, their kindness, their time, their listening ear, their affection, their validation, the emotional healthy child says that's cute, but he's not really attracted to that because he has enough. Even if he goes away from home to a camp, boarding school, he's deeply connected from day one, when he was surrounded by mom for 9 months, and then later on loved by mom and dad, father and mother. Someone offers a worm. Who needs a worm? I got much more than a worm. Who needs some validation of the strange guy I don't even know? I have it at home. So right away, the child does not really gravitate to that because he has enough at home. Very similar to children that have enough junk food at home, don't have to go steal and search and take and beg for junk food, which is a topic for itself, because when we take away junk food for children, they gravitate more when they're outside the house and sometimes even steal it. As I said, that's a separate topic for itself. Now, that's regarding to the children that seek the love and attention. So if they get it at home, they won't seek it outside of home, and then automatically they're safe and they won't get close to the predator in the first place for him later on to strike. Or her. How How about the more aggressive ones? Those that look for the children. Those that just, they want to hurt a child. Well, their intention maybe is not to hurt a child, but that's what actually happens. They don't really look at what the child will say to them or how he will react to them. They know one thing, that body language is extremely powerful, more powerful than the verbal language. And they look for the child that's lonely. They look for the child expression on their face. Just says, please give me something, just give me something. And that's precisely the children that they approach. Or even if they would approach them, if it's an overnight camp during their sleep, they rather come to those children that don't have the self-esteem, that are low-key, that look like they would appreciate a little bit of extra attention. And those are the children that they approach to. So to teach our child, when someone comes to you and touches you in a way you feel uncomfortable, tell them no. Happens to be a lot of adults that talk to me about their child and how they were touched. They admit to me they actually went to the predator, but just like a fish would go to the worm, to the bait, because that's where it's all about. And we do, and a lot of children actually go back to their predator even after they're touched. And you may ask why? Well, the thing that comes to mind is a very sad documentary that I watched of this group in the Second World War, the partisans, I believe they were called, and they hung out in the forest and they fought with the Nazis with the little ammunition that they had. And they had a tough time because some had to make it through cold winters, no food. And this individual, I forget his name because I watched this documentary about 3-4 years ago. He speaks about the rough times they had when there was no water. And he said it, and I feel bad repeating it, but I will say it because that's what children in our society have to do as well. And he said, we did not have water. We could not find water, and we thought we would die, but we had only one solution. We had to drink, our own urine. It might be gross, but he survived the war. I can't remember how many days or weeks he had to do it, but they had to drink their own urine in order to survive. When a child is deprived from love, attention, and affection, and a brutal, despicable molester gives them that, it doesn't matter if it's urine, it doesn't matter if they feel uncomfortable, it just doesn't matter. That's the only source they have. Someone smiling to them, someone asking them how their day was. You know what? That predator is nicer than my parents. I come home, I'm told that my bedroom is messy. I'm told that my teacher is upset at me. I'm told that I got into a fight with my siblings. I'm told that I'm not as good as my siblings because they hang up their coat and I don't. I'm told that my school bag is not in its place. And I'm told I'm sometimes just a pain in the neck. And I'm told I'm always causing problems. There's a way how to deal with that. But when you approach a child with that type of attitude, that's not what the child could drink. The child is just so thirsty that they would actually approach someone that would give them a little bit of validation, a little bit of love, even though it hurts them. So that speech doesn't apply to everyone. The speech of tell that person, that's bad touch, that's good touch, that's unhealthy touch. They want it. The best thing that we could do for parents is to love. And not to love, to express. We all do love. To express that love to the child, not in the way we want to give it or we think is right or wrong, in the way that the child wants it. And every child wants it differently, and we have to respect what they want. And if we respect what they want, they in return will respect the world as well. And they have an 80% chance to be safe and secure. To answer the other 4 questions, please tune in August, and we'll attempt to answer the other questions. Thanks for joining, and have yourself a wonderful and delightful day. And always remember, you are greater than you think you are. All the best. Bye now.